Hi there, Deb Dixon here, and I'm about to start a comparison of two diffusers. It's now 1:29 and I'm just going to give everyone a few minutes to jump on and see how we go. So I have the doTERRA petal diffuser, and I actually have 3 of those in my home. I like to, rather than move them around all the time or move the one around all the time, I did buy a few over a couple of years that I've been with doTERRA. Oh, it's coming up to 2 years now. Yeah, so they've been good, and I do have one of the Kmart ones, so I can do a proper comparison. Okay, so I've just clicked over to 1:30 p.m. and I can't see anybody that's on at the moment, so let me just, I'll turn my phone down just in case someone decides to ring, and we can get started. Okay, so just before I start, can I tell you that I have small hands, and the Kmart diffuser is a little larger than the other petal diffuser, and I know myself and a couple of my customers who have the Kmart diffuser do struggle with getting the lid off. So I'm not trying to create an impression that the doTERRA one is better. I'm doing my best. Sometimes I can do it better than others, but I just wanted to warn you, for that reason I haven't put any water into these diffusers either, because if you tend to spill, it's not good around electricity. So that is a warning. Yeah, I'm not trying to make it difficult. It is a little bit difficult, but I'm not doing it on purpose. So just to show you the doTERRA diffuser, and if I can get the other one up in my hand, this is the Kmart diffuser. So the white one, the purple one's doTERRA. The Kmart one doesn't actually show a brand that's obvious, so yeah, but if you can just see, let me line it up with the camera. Oh, okay, the Anko stickers there, so it's still there. That's the brand. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the petal diffuser. As you can see, the lid comes off. There's no real clips. I've never had any problems with this lid, and it comes off and on very easily. Now, to get to the main reason why you might want to go for the Kmart one. Kmart is $20. The doTERRA one is $58 wholesale or $77 retail. So much better price, of course. Now, before I bought this one 2 years ago, I did go and do a little bit of research about prices, and this was a fairly reasonable price on the market. So it's not one of the expensive ones. If I went down to our local health food, and they're up around the $70 and $90 ones. They are prettier to look at, but this wasn't an outrageous price at the time. But it's obviously not $20. So where the important thing is where you pour the water. So you can see there it's got a red dot, and it's just a little piece of plastic there, and it's very easy to see. Now, occasionally I've gone over slightly on the mark, and it has had no effect whatsoever to the way it's the way it works, but it does need to be around the level of that top red button there. So once you do that, and I'll do that in a minute, it's just a matter of putting the lid on and pressing the mist button. Can I just show you the mist and the light button? This one does 1 hour, 2 hours, and 4 hours. So to me, it varies. If I am going to be just wandering around the house, doing stuff around the house, I'd put it on for 4 hours, and I'd be moving in and out of the room. If I go to bed and have it on, I'll put it on for an hour. Or if I'm really stuffed up, I might put it on for 2, and it might help me with my sleep. But yeah, the light, it comes on as a default, and you have to turn the light off if you are trying to go to sleep. But that's just a brief rundown there, and I'll run down the Kmart one on those details, and then I'll do a more closer comparison at the end. So we've got similarly 2 buttons, one light, one mist. They're in a different spot to the other diffuser, so it does get a bit confusing when you first get it, but then you realise they're different, and they're doing 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 120 minutes, and 180 minutes. So we're doing 2 and 3 hours, so we don't get up to 4 hours at all. The light is off as a default, and you have to turn it on, which probably would make sense. So it's probably better in that regard. Now, let me try and get this off. There we go. Now, I rarely am able to, like, I don't know, I've got small hands, but you can see it's a bit tricky. It's a slightly bigger, and it's a different shape, and it locks. I mean, it's easy enough to lock, but to grip it, to pull it up, I pretty much need to put it next to my chest. Now, if there's water in there, quite often I spill. So for me, that's not great, but I still use it. It doesn't stop me from using it. I just try to be very, very careful at the time that I'm putting it in. Plus, once you put all the water in, there's 3 hours of water, and if you're only doing it for an hour, you don't have to top it up all that often. So let me just do that again. Okay, so don't know if I can get to see the level there. See that writing there? I don't know if you can see that label here. That is the level marker for your water. Now, the issue with this, I feel, is one, it's got a line, maximum water level, but it's actually a sticker. To me, it looks like it's going to come off sometime. And also, I think some person has put it on and it's not level. So I've seen people talk about how their steam doesn't work. And when they've reduced the amount of water in it, the steam works better. So I'm guessing that if there is a manual, if this sticker goes on manually at the end, it's up to the person putting it on, or whoever, whether it's a machine. I don't know if they can do a machine or not. But as I say, this one's not level. So therefore, if others aren't put on the right spot, then it's going to be tricky to get the right water level. And also, yeah, I just don't know if it's going to stay on. To me, it looks like it's been sitting in water and it's not going to do it. But anyway, that's what people have been saying. When they've reduced the water level, it works. When they've had it too high, it doesn't work. So, but I haven't had a problem. A couple of times it wasn't working and I just turned it off and on again and it seemed to work better. So I don't know. If anyone has a Kmart one and they have a different experience, can you put some comments in below so that I'm just talking from my experience. I've had this one for about 3 months. I've had the doTERRA ones like almost 2 years, the first one that I bought. So yeah, anyway, let's I might put the water in first and we'll go from there. So sorry, I was just gone off camera there a bit. So I'm going to plug this one in. Actually, I won't put any oils in it for now. And here we go. Now, the other thing that I found tricky, because I'm a bit spoilt with the doTERRA one, it's sort of on an angle to get the. See, once you've got water in it, there we go. Now, it beeps, the Kmart one beeps when you first turn it on. And there are dots. Actually, I've got the lid in the wrong spot. There is a dot here, and you have to line it up with the dot on the bottom there. Okay, as you can see, they're really easy to put on. It's just getting off. Okay, there's another beat for it to start. So I put it to 60 minutes from 30. And then I'll put the light on. And the light has 2 settings. Light on, light brighter, and then light off. Now, I don't know if you can see, I think you can if I move the chair. You can see the steam coming out of that diffuser. And may I tell you, this is much, much thicker and more steam than the doTERRA one. The doTERRA one has got a smaller hole and comes straight up, and I'll do that for you now. So excuse me while I'm moving around. So just lid off. Put the water, hopefully you're not dropping it all over my keyboard and computer. Up towards the stop, the red dot. This goes in. Bit easier to put that on, but then I've been doing it for 2 years as well. Mist. Do that for 2 hours, and I'll turn the light off. Now you can see the mist from this one. Let me show you. It's got to get going a bit. I just put that there. You can see it. It's definitely not as thick as the Kmart one. Okay, so let's run through some comparisons that I've picked up when I've been doing some research. So, as I said before, Kmart $20, price for petal diffuser from doTERRA $58 wholesale and $77 retail. As far as the warranty goes, Kmart apparently give you a 28-day refund or exchange on all their goods. So oh hi, I've just realised I've got people on watching. Hi Tracy, hi Kate, and hi Deb. Yeah, so we've got the prices there and the warranty for the diffuser from doTERRA. We're going to get 90 days for a replacement and 30 days for money back. Now, one thing that does bother me, well, as I said, the lid's a bit stuck and I can work with that, but the plastic, some plastics, essential oils can break down, and I know for sure that the plastic used by the doTERRA diffuser is the right plastic. Now, I could not find anything to say what plastic the Kmart one is used or built from, so I can't guarantee that it's not the plastic that essential oils break down, but I'm hoping it is. The difference in the timers, as I said, 1 hour, 2 hours, and 4 hours for the doTERRA diffuser, and then the 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and 3 hours for Kmart. So neither of those would bother me. As I said, with the light, it comes on as a default on the petal, whereas you've got to turn it on the Kmart. And there's 2 light settings on the Kmart one, whereas only one on the petal diffuser for doTERRA. So none of that bothers me either. Now, I did see a post from a lady that was talking about the beeping on the Kmart. So your petal diffuser, you don't get any beeping. So she was saying that if you had children and you wanted to go into their room and turn it on, you'd get a beep for the turning it on, a beep for pressing the mist button, and you know, same with the light. So I don't know if that's a problem for others, but that wouldn't really bother me because I don't have kids. Both of them, when I did a test earlier and ran them for an hour, and when I put my finger in, both had warm water. So I don't know what that means, but it wasn't hot, it was just warm. So there's not a lot of difference. As I said, and if you weren't watching earlier, I'll just do it again. And as I said, I've got 2 other customers that have this problem, and I've been online to see others have this problem. Wait a minute, I've got to turn it off properly. I'm pressing the light because the buttons are different on them. Turn the light off. Okay, so it's still. There we go. So this one, the $20 one, as I said, I've got small hands. Oops, I've got it this time. No. It's tricky to get off. Having water there and electricity, it's not good. So that's probably, well, I think I can work with it because I've got one in one of my, this one sits in one of my rooms, and if I'm ironing in that room, I'll put it on, but it's not in a room where I use the diffuser all the time. So as I said, it's up to you to decide. Yeah, so do you have any questions before I sort of finish up? And also, as I said, if you have one, I know a couple of my customers do have one. Lisa's got one of these. So I'd love any comments or your thoughts on what one you would go for. If I was going to buy another one, I'd want to try and find out about the plastic, because all of the reasons, the main reason I'm changing over my cleaning products and stuff for, into, good products with nothing bad in it. I don't want to be diffusing something that's putting chemicals into the air in my home. So that is probably a big thing for me. So if anyone has any information about whether this plastic is okay or not with essential oils, I might be able to try on some of the Facebook groups that I'm in to find out about it and get an answer on it, but I don't have an answer. Also, I just sort of wanted to mention too, there's a gap here which doesn't occur on the other one. Can you see that gap there? And it says air outlet, caution, keep air outlet out of water, otherwise it may cause faults. Well, if I'm moving the lid like I do to get it off, it's tricky. But as I say, look, that's my hand trying to grab it, so it's quite tricky. If you've got most people do have a bigger hand than I am, so you're probably better off. But yeah, that's the only trick I have with it. So yeah, just to run through those things again, you get a 90 days warranty on the doTERRA diffuser, although it's it's $38 more wholesale, and add another $22 for retail, and pretty much everything except for the beeps and the tight lid. So there's not a lot of difference. So you be the judge. Let me know what you think, and I'll be doing more posting. This year I've been doing business training and just had so many things on, so I'm going to get onto more live videos, and I'm still working on my my hormone workshop, so that'll be coming up. So yeah, love to see you then, and see you soon. Bye.